What is up, ADG traders? This is Munya, and welcome back again to my trading channel. Right, today I want to share with you guys a boom and crash spy catching strategy and scalping strategy. So you're going to benefit twice from this 99.9% accurate strategy, right? But before we start, as usual, please make sure you click that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so that you are notified each and every time I post videos like this. This will allow you not to miss any video that I post, any strategy update, and any new strategy that I'm posting here on this channel, right? And if you really support this channel, please make sure you click the like button, right? Guys, if you reach to 100 likes in one day, I'm going to do a massive giveaway. So make sure you click that like button and support this channel. Okay, if you really also want to join a trading community with over 5,000 traders, where I post strategies, where I post signals, where I post anything to do with trading, there's a link in the description box below that has my Telegram channel link, right? So you can just click on that link. It will take you straight to that group, to that channel, right? It's free to join. Anyone can join. Anyone who is interested can join. Anyone who wants trading can join into that group, right? So if you're new, we're about to start on a very powerful strategy. I'm going to tell you guys how to use this strategy, how to install this strategy, how to make money with this strategy. I'm just going to quickly show you the results of this strategy that I've seen. So right here we have a deposit of 200 USD on the 15th, and on the 16th I started trading this account. And can you see how powerful this is, guys? I just want to share with you guys the losses and the wins so that there is no some shady deals that you think will be happening. We both experience profits and losses, right? But the profits will always be bigger than the losses, right? Okay, here's another loss, but we recovered. Just to show you guys how I use this strategy faithfully, right, up until the end, where we doubled this account from $200 to 400 USD, right? And we withdrew some of the money, right? Just to show you that this is real. This is real, man. This happened in a day. I think it happened within 3 hours. We had doubled this account. So if you want to double your account as fast as we did, just make sure you watch this video up until the end. If you don't have an account, there's a link that will lead you to where you can sign up and get an account, and you deposit, and then you just go ahead and start trading like us, right? So by the end of this video, you should have something like this on your chart. I'm really going to explain to you how to get the best results out of this strategy, like the results that you can see that I got, right? So make sure you have an account. If you don't have an account, guys, if you're completely new to boom and crash trading, it only works. You can only trade boom and crash with the broker that I have put the link in the description box below. So make sure you click that link and register for an account. That's the only broker that we use, which is deriv.com, right? So make sure you check that out also. So by the end of this video, you should have something like this on your chart. So we're gonna do the step-by-step process of how you can actually install this strategy, right? So as usual, I'll remove everything and we can start afresh together, right? I'm on crash 500 right now, and this is a blank 5-minute chart. So the first indicator that we want to install is the Ichimoku, which is going to really help us make an entry with the strategy, right? And it's going to have the following properties. So the first Tenkan is going to have 10, then 2, then 2. Then make sure you click on fill to make it activated. And then what's left is to do the styling. So the styling is pretty much simple. You can choose any color of your choice for the first two, which is I chose black and blue. And then the remaining 3, make sure they are the color of your background. I have a white background, so as you can see, I have white for the last 3. Then I'm going to click done, and as you can see, I now have 2 lines on my chart, the black and the blue, which is the Ichimoku, right? And then once you're done with that, we're going to go to our indicator window 1, and it is going to have the following settings. The first indicator that you do have is the MACD, and this MACD is going to be having the following properties: a fast EMA of 4, a slow EMA of 26, a MACD SMA of 10, apply to weighted close, and then it's not going to have any levels, and then you're just going to go straight to the styling, and the main should have a color black or any color of your choice, and then the signal should have the color of your background. In this case I have a white background, so it's white, right? Then I'm going to click done, and as you can see I now have a MACD which is right down here, right? The next indicator that we want to install is going to go to our indicator window 1 again, and it is going to be a moving average, and it is going to have a period of 1, right, a shift of 0, a method of linear weighted, apply to previous indicator data, and then the color, I'll choose the color red. You can choose any color of your choice. Then I'm going to click save and done, and as you can see on our charts, we now have a red line running across the MACD, right? Then the second indicator that we want is also going to go to the indicator window 1, and it is going to be a moving average also, but this time it will have a period of 10, a shift of 0, method of linear weighted, apply to previous indicators data. I'm just going to change the styling, and I'll choose the color green, and then we click save. Then we're going to click on done, and now as you can see I have a green line on my charts also. Then lastly, we want to install our RSI, which is the relative strength index, and this index is going to have a period of 1000, apply to indicators data, previous indicators data, and then the styling for this one is also going to be the color of your background. So if you have a black background, make sure you choose black. I have a white background, so that's why you see my styling as white. Then done, then voila, we have the complete strategy for spike catching and for scalping, right? So what's left now is knowing when to buy and when to sell, which is very much easy and very much accurate, right? So before I start, guys, if you're interested in our account management program, please make sure you join the Telegram channel with the link in the description box below. Please, guys, I've had people that are complaining that they're talking to people that are claiming to be me and not me. My Telegram channel link will always be on each and every video that you find on this channel, right? So if you join some other group that you didn't get the link from this channel, then it's not my group, right? So make sure you join the correct group. The link is in the description box below. That's the first link that you see. That's my channel. We have over 5,000 right now traders in there, and the account management program is really going well. If you want, you can check the results out in the Telegram channel, where I also post my results and other people's results that are using our services like signals and mentorship, right? So let's get into how to use this strategy. I'll start off with the scalping part, and then we'll talk about the spike catching part, right? Scalping part, because I can see the spike trades right now. So let's start off with the scalping part. So for both spike catching and scalping, you are going to need to follow these 3 conditions, right? For scalp, the first thing that should happen is the MACD must form a peak, right? Let me just highlight what a peak is, which is something like that, right? The MACD, remember, those are the black bars that you see going down, right? And the peak would be when you have something like this. Let me draw it. Let me illustrate. You have a first bar, then the middle bar is longer than the first bar, and then the third bar is shorter than the middle bar. That's a peak, right? Doesn't really have to be that accurate, but it should form something like a corner, right? This point, like an arrow right there. This is what we then call the peak, right? So if you have any setup like this, there can be so many bars forming this kind of setup, but as long as they are pointy, that's a peak, right? So these black bars, if they form something like that, that's the first condition for you to look into a buy, right? And then you're going to look for a crossover of EMAs, right, on your indicator window one. So the red and the green, if they cross something like this, a crossover, then that's the second condition for you to know you're about to enter a trade. And then lastly, you're going to look for a crossover on your Ichimoku, which is right there. And then once you see that, you know that you are going to enter your trade. So for crash, obviously, if the peak forms pointing down and you have your red line crossing the green line to be above, and then on your Ichimoku, if you have your blue line crossing to be above the black line, you know that you are ready to take your buy trade, right? You're ready to scalp, right? So probably your take profit can be determined by two things. Either you're going to wait until your moving average reaches the zero line right here, the middle. That's your take profit level. Or you can simply say you want to get 5 to 7 1 minute candlesticks, right? And then you close your trade. Remember, we talked about the lot sizes and how to actually do it if you are scalping, right? If you haven't, just go and check out my other videos on this channel. You'll be able to learn what to do with the lot sizes, because we talked about it in the previous video. By the way, if you haven't watched or seen that video that I posted a day ago, please make sure you check it out, because it's been producing some great results and you wouldn't want to miss that. Okay, so this is the first buy setup that we have for Crash 500. Remember, you're going to be using the 5-minute time frame, and the zoom level doesn't really matter. I use the third zoom level because I find it more clearer and I can easily see my candlesticks and my crossovers and my picks, right? Maybe we can take a look at another example for a buy. There's so many examples, guys, so many of them here, with a nice buy setup, with a peak right there, right, with a crossover of the green and the red, right, which is the EMAs, and then we have a crossover of the Ichimoku, and then we went all the way up. Can you see that? Can look for another example here with a nice setup, peak, crossover of EMAs, crossover of the Ichimoku, then we went all the way up, right? So this is when you are scalping Crash 500. We'll talk about spike catching a little later on, but right now let's talk about scalping on Boom 500, right? Let's talk about scalping on Boom 500. Let me remove what you see right here. I was in a trade actually right now with this strategy. So I was actually in this trade. So let me just remove and properly explain these things to you guys. So for Boom, if you want to scalp, it's the same thing. You want your peak right there to be pointing up. You want your red line this time to be going below the green line, or basically your EMAs to be pointing down, and then you want your crossover again to be pointing down on your Ichimoku, and then you obviously know that you're going to sell, right? The only difference with Crash is this time the peaks are inverted. the peak is now pointing up. For crash, it will be pointing down. And then the EMAs are pointing down, and the Ichimoku is pointing down for boom. And then for crash, they will be pointing up. That's the only difference. But the scalping is also the same, right? Now, with that said, I'm sure everybody understands the scalping. We can look for another example, guys. I'm not in a hurry. We have a peak right here. We have a crossover of EMAs pointing down. We have a crossover of the Ichimoku pointing down. We're going to sell our market. Either we target 7 1-minute candlesticks, or we target this zero line right here, the middle, right? As simple as that, guys. As simple as that, guys. Okay, and let's talk about spike catching. The same conditions are going to apply, right? The same conditions are going to apply. You will still need a MACD peak, and you still need an moving average cross, and you still need the Ichimoku cross. So right here was the trade that I was actually in. We had a peak right here, a nice one. Okay, one may say, how come we had a peak here? So why didn't you end your trade? I didn't enter because there was no crossover of the moving average right here. So the correct peak for this one is here, because it was followed by the crossing of the red and green line, which is one of our conditions. And then lastly, we had another crossover here. Okay, so make sure you get these conditions in this order. And then we went all the way up, getting our spikes. On spike catching, I usually like to just get my one spike and exit, but the same rules apply. You can even get your entry here and go all the way up to the zero line and take your profit if you want to hold for a long time. Right here, at the moment, what you actually see is we had the first condition met, we had a peak, we had a crossover of the moving averages. What's now left is the crossover of the Ichimoku, which is going to happen anywhere around that region, right? And once it happens, guys, enter your sell trade. Get your 7 1-minute candlesticks and exit, or wait for it to reach the zero line and then you exit. But it's going to be a short trade, as you can see, because we are so close to the zero line here, right? We are so close to the zero line. So that's another tip right there. If you are very far away from the zero line, like this point, if your peak forms down there far away from the zero line, just know that you're going to get so many pips for you to go all the way up to this line. So sometimes you just have to be vigilant and practice the strategy until you actually see how it's actually working, right? I can't really explain everything because this video will be too long for that, but you actually have to see this. The same thing happens on Crash 500. If you want to catch spikes, probably this time we are selling, right? So first thing, our spike should be at the top, our peak should be at the top, pointing up, and across of the moving averages, and then across of the Ichimoku, and then as you can see, where the spike following up, and we went all the way down. This is the 5-minute time frame that you're going to use, right? And for this video, please try and use it on Crash 500 and Boom 500. This is where I've tried and tested it, and this is where it had worked for me. As you can see, all my trades right here are for Crash 500 and Boom 500. I have not yet tried it on other indices, but you guys are free to do that on your demo account and practice and see what works for you. I try to specialize for this strategy, right? They say specialization is also a good thing. This is what we actually did. So I will only be watching 2 indices, Crash 500, Boom 500, and we will be cashing in on it this big, right? So guys, if you don't have an account, there's a link that will take you straight to the broker that I'm using that has these indices, and you'll be able to sign up and start trading with us using this strategy. If you want to join our community, it's completely free. Just join the Telegram channel. The link is in the description box below. You're able to get updates and anything that I'm talking about, you'll be able to hear it directly from me, right? So that is all for this video. I hope you guys are going to practice until you make it perfect. Until next time.